Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Club América versus Toluca FC in the 2025 Liga MX Clausura final, leg 1. Club América contra Toluca FC en la Liga MX Clausura final, partido ida. Here we go. Everybody was worried that I wouldn't do it. But thanks to the Leafs being choking losers, I'm here. So thank the Toronto Maple Leafs for choking. Because I would have been live tonight for something else had they not choked. But they choked. So, here we are. Here for the Liga MX final. Clausura final at the very least. They ran it close, but here we are. No Paulinho. For this game. I'm doing good, Sean. I'm doing good. Injured Paulinho. Yep, Paulinho injured. He will not be playing for Toluca in this game. They might be screwed. They're on the road at América's stadium. Estadio Azul. Azul Crema, I guess. Now. Second leg is over at Estadio Nemesio Diaz. Can they keep this alive to get there in the first place is the question on Sunday. We'll be live for the second leg as well because, again, I have nothing else to do. So, well, the Leafs wouldn't have played Sunday anyway. So it would have been, what, Tuesday, Thursday, Sat? Yeah, would have been a double instead. But either way, it's just TFC on Saturday because, yeah. With that being said, América contra Toluca, la final. Here we go. We're about ready to go. Tetracampeón posible para América. Toluca, la rival. We shall see. With that being said, starting 11s are as follows. Teams are about to walk out. For América, in goal, Luis Malagón. The back four, Kevin Alvarez, Israel Reyes, Sebastian Cáceres, Christian Borja. The midfield four of Alvaro Fidalgo, Jonathan Dos Santos, Eric Sanchez, Alejandro Zendejas, Victor Davila, and Henry Martin. Well, yeah, I mean, they're making it more fun. I wasn't even watching. I was just waiting for this game to start. Yes, he should be gone. I'm glad he's gone. No. The Capitals were more fraudulent than the Hurricanes. There's a reason the Hurricanes won as easily as they did. I think the Panthers would have absolutely killed the Caps just as badly. And the Leafs might have beat the Caps a little bit easier than they would have the Hurricanes. Not that matters, but either way, starting 11 for Toluca. In goal, we have Luis Garcia. The back four of Jesus Gallardo, Federico Pereira, Luan Garcia, Diego Barbosa. The midfield two of Marcel Ruiz and Franco Romero. The attacking midfield three of Robert Morales, Jesus Angulo, Bruno Mendez, and up top, Alexi Vega. No Paulinho. Yeah, the Hurricanes are getting swept. 2008, Tottenham won a trophy. Barca lost the UCL semifinal. Next season, Barca won the treble. 2025, Barca lost the UCL semifinal. Tottenham won a trophy. What will happen next year? Well, I mean, if Madrid doesn't get their shit together, Barca might win the treble again, just ironically enough. You know what? I'm going to be real. Barca wins the treble next year. I think that'll happen. Real Madrid needs to get their shit together. They won't. I like Xabi Alonso. I think Mbappe's a fraud. I think Bellingham, we'll see what happens there. Rodrigo is going to be gone, and honestly, could have been their secret weapon. Endrick, he could be better. Vinicius, fraud. They're not going to fix the defense, except for Trent Alexander-Arnold, which he's not known for his defense. Even though he's a right back, he's not known for his defense. Yeah, they're going for another Galactico to put in defense that isn't really that good at defending. That's the problem. Yeah, no, Barca might just win the treble, ironically enough, next year. And I hate to admit it. Real Madrid, they got to get their shit together. Xabi might be... I'm not saying he's a fraud. To do what he did with Bayer Leverkusen means you're not a fraud. Here's the problem, though. Florian Wirtz ain't walking through that door at Madrid. More likely, he probably goes to Liverpool. So, we'll see what happens there. I'm happy for them. They deserve it. I'm happy for Expressions, happy for Postecoglou, happy for Son. They deserve it. They deserve to win. They won. How we doing, Rafa? How we doing? I just said yes, I'm happy he's gone. To reiterate, I'm happy he's gone. Oh, Sean. Yes. Yes, I do. Makes things feel a little bit better. Fair enough. Fair enough. Bellingham's the only non-fraud in that front four of Real Madrid. Okay, fair, fair. Mbappe is a fraud. Vinny's a fraud. He shouldn't have won the Ballon d'Or, and luckily he didn't. And he won't next year either, or this year. Rodrigo, secret weapon. They don't like playing him, though, as evidenced by the fact Arsenal may get him, which actually would be a good move for both sides. They'd actually get somebody who could actually finish, and Arsenal would actually give him the playing time he wants. Endrick, he may get better. I don't know, but he's still very young. He may be like Vinny to the point where it takes him a couple of years to get up to speed. Well, it happened for Vinicius. May happen for Endrick. So, yeah, Bellingham's the only one you can't blame. Also, Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a defender. Even though you're fixing your defense by buying a right back, you really aren't. Maybe you'll get more attacks out of that right back position, though. Barely. He can't defend, though. How we doing, Specimen? Yes. Yes, I do. They would have beat the Canes, too. Those teams are frauds. I said the real Eastern Conference final was Toronto, Florida. That's what I said. I was right. I was still right. Because look at what Florida's doing to Carolina. We all knew they had no chance in hell. But you could be like, well, we don't know. Florida is that good. Yes, Toronto gave up in Game 5 and Game 7. Yes. They played horrible on their home ice. Somehow won Game 6, which I don't get. They also blew Game 3. I'm still pissed about Games 5 and 7, and to a certain extent, Game 3. The Leafs win one more of those. We're not talking about Panthers, Hurricanes. I still think the Leafs stomp out the Canes. Maybe not a sweep, probably more like 6 games, but hell, the Canes aren't even as good as the Sens. What'd the Leafs do to the Sens? The Capitals aren't even as good as the Sens. I don't care how many points they picked up. They played the damn Metro. They were letting Ovi chase the record. The Leafs would have won the Eastern Conference Final against the Caps or the Hurricanes, just like the Florida Panthers are, except it may not have been a sweep. Capitals, they probably still would have swept. Maybe 5 games, but 6 for Carolina, Toronto. But Toronto would have won. They just didn't get there. So we'll never know. But same. Finals about to start. Yes. I said yes. Yes, they are. Hey. You got to do what you got to do. Yes. And if you bow out from being here, we will miss you. If that's what entails on a New Year's Eve. If that's part of what entails on New Year's Eve. We'll see what happens there, but you got to do what you got to do. They're screwed. The only reason they would have done anything at the Club World Cup left them. And it's probably going Coach Cruz Azul. They're screwed. Like, they may play a little bit above their weight, but Almada was the reason why they were playing really above their weight. And they weren't even really that good this season, this Clausura. They're screwed. They're screwed at the Club World Cup. Teams have walked out. Here we go. Well, at least for the Mexican national anthem. I have no call to start it. Do I look like Mikel Arreola? Okay, we agree on that then. Teams I want to win the cup. Number 1, Edmonton Oilers. 3 or 2. Carolina's out of it. Dallas. 3, Carolina to pull the upset for the Panthers. I don't want Florida to win back-to-back. 1. Second of all, I don't like the Florida Panthers. I very much loathe the Florida Panthers. So, yeah, exactly, because the Metro is even more fraudulent than the Hurricanes are. This is the same thing that's happened the past, 5 years in a row? They've lost 12. Actually, no, now it's 14 straight Eastern Conference Finals games. So you can get there. 14 straight Eastern Conference Finals games. 3.5 series. 3.5 sweeps. Dude. That's part of the reason why the Leafs don't make it that far. The other part is they're not built good enough to beat the top-heavy Atlantic teams. I'm going to call it next year. Well, it's what happened this year, but I'm going to call it. For the foreseeable future, probably the next 5 years, 5 of the Eastern playoff teams are going to be Atlantic teams. Of course, the 3 Atlantic top 3, and then the 2 wild card. There will not be a Metro wild card team for at least 5 years, even with the Bruins rebuilding, even with the Buffalo Sabres being shit. It is still going to be 5 Atlantic teams in the playoffs for the NHL over the next 2026 to 2031 or whatever. I guarantee it. Probably a mixture of Tampa, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Florida. With maybe a shock for Detroit. I don't know. Maybe a shocking Detroit playoff appearance. Or Boston coming back to reality. Maybe not next year, but later on in that. Boston probably coming back to relevance as well. Hell, Buffalo. Well, Buffalo making a run. I mean, this would really be their time, but well, I don't think the Oilers are going to win the cup with the way the Florida Panthers are playing. Also, the fact that the Oilers blew a tire the third period of the game 1 of that series. Starting 11 for América: Malagón, Borja, Cáceres, Reyes, Alvarez, Dos Santos, Fidalgo, Sanchez, Davila, Martín, Zendejas for América, looking for their 4th straight Liga MX trophy, tetracampeón. I would hope so. I still think that series is going 7, but they really blew a tire. Well, because they like adding more matches. They have such a big roster. Well, WWE has a big roster, but they only do 5 pay-per-view matches now, which is stupid. Honestly, I'll give AEW credit. I want about 8, 9 matches on my pay-per-view cards. So, hey, that's the one thing they've done right. Good job. Long pay-per-view cards. I hate 5 matches on pay-per-view. It's stupid. It's green. Hey, it's green, not yellow. It's neon green. If you talk about the undershirt. It is a Nike shirt, though. Hold on. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. Quintero's the center ref, but I guess, but I think the jersey means more than the undershirt. Red and white. Add that together. Interesting. Well, Miranda is the VAR referee. Starting 11 for Toluca: Garcia, Gallardo, Pereira, Garcia, Mendez, Barbosa, Ruiz, Angulo, Romero, Vega, Morales. That didn't happen. I could have sworn that was video from 2023. And if there were any Leafs fans chanting "We want Florida," they're dumbasses. Those were really dumbasses. Those were idiotic dumbasses. They blew a tire. Undisciplined. They blew a tire the 3rd period. Let's go. I want the Oilers to win. They probably won't, though. The Panthers are better this year than they were last. Go Big Ol. Prove me wrong. Honestly, I was kind of surprised they choked. How are we doing, Alex? More likely Arsenal. North Carolina changed their goalie. Well, duh. Well, they're losing 5-1 right now at some point. 5-6. I heard. I think he'll go. There's more likely he'll go back to Zagreb. Probably. And we're off. 0-0. 0-0. Man, it's been a while since I've spoke Spanish on this channel. It's been a while. Because there's been no games with a Spanish team playing, whether that be Spain or Mexico or Central America, this whole month. For nothing, okay. I mean, it's a preliminary squad. I'm not shocked that the USA has gone complete B team. Like, it already looks like it's going to be a B team. The shocking part, well, I wouldn't say shocking, but the part that we know is no Pulisic, no Musa, no McKennie. It's going to basically be a B team. Cross in. Cleared away. Okay. No away goals, no seeding, tied after 180 minutes, extra time, then penalties. This is how this works since it's the final. Because he's tired. Speaking of, hey, Pulisic, hey, dumbass, It's the same thing you're going to have to do for next summer. Play European season and go to the World Cup. You can't use the tired excuse there. What are you doing? Whatever. Yay. It's funny, though. Pochettino's best games have honestly showed up when he's played the MLS players and fringe guys. So, you know what? Maybe Gold Cup's going to be better. Maybe this is the time where a B squad doesn't look like a B squad. Maybe it's 4D chess. Maybe Pochettino's so desperate to win his first trophy, he's realized, oh, my B squad actually looks like they've been the better team. Those have been my best games here. Oh, I'll just say, hey, Pulisic, take your time. I mean, maybe. I didn't know, but maybe. Exactly. Santi Jimenez will be playing for Mexico. Hell, it kind of seems that Vasco likes the front two of Santi and Raul. He's going to be playing at the Gold Cup because he needs all the chances he can get. Christian Pulisic, I thought you were an honorable captain. Tired? Okay. Exactly. And they don't have a person who could just single-handedly carry them to winning CONCACAF trophies like Mexico does. See, Mexico's good right now. They've staved off the bad omens because Raul Jimenez turned back into a freaking Super Saiyan. Question is, can he do it for another year? Up until next late June, early July. Let's be real, you ain't getting much farther than El Quinto Partido. But after last World Cup, I think El Quinto Partido would actually, I think people would be happy about that in Mexico, actually. They couldn't even get to El Quinto Partido. Or the match before. Well, couldn't even get there. Well, how we doing, Dylan? Exactly. So either he's a liar or Pochettino's using this like, hey, take the Gold Cup off. Let me win my first trophy. Let me get the heat off me. My B team's better than you, which has got to be an insult. Let's be real. That's got to be an insult to Christian Pulisic, though. If Pochettino's like, my B team's better than you. We're going to find out. Not just, the Gold Cup, but we'll find out how he handles the friendlies. If he gives more time to Brian White, Diego Luna, Aguimang, and guys like that during the friendlies, post-Gold Cup, post-June, I think we know where this is going. Honestly, I wouldn't blame him. Playing forward. Malagón clears it away 5 minutes in. I say Mexico-Canada final. Revenge for the Nations League semi. Bring it on. Mexico-Canada final. Bring it on. That'd actually be a really good final. I also heard one of the semifinals is in St. Louis. If that's the one Canada's playing in, I might try. I might try to find a way there to City Park. Didn't hear it from me. Actually, that'd be a good move. Exactly. Canada's better than the USA. And honestly, overall, I'm going to be real, Canada's better than Mexico on paper. Again, yes, Mexico won the Nations League. Yes, they beat Canada head-to-head. Yes. Actual results-wise, Mexico's still better, but we all know it's because of one guy. It's not because of the whole team. It's because of one guy turning Super Saiyan. Like, if he cools down, Mexico's screwed. You know that, right? You do realize that if Raul Jimenez cools down over the next year, they're screwed, right? You do realize that. You do realize that Mexico is screwed if he cools down, even a touch, especially for the national team. You do realize that, right? Like, if he cools down for the national team, because he did cool down a bit for Fulham, and then he was still hot for the national team. If he cools down over the next year for the national team, you're screwed, right? You realize that. Corner for Toluca. Canada, on the other hand, they're not a one-man team. They still beat the USA, though. So, we know we're better than the USA. Cross in. Canada is better than the USA. I don't think that's an argument, though. I don't think that's an argument. Because he's actually better with the B team. His best performances, Poch's best performances as a coach with the USA has come with the B team in January and that third place game for portions of it. Now, of course, they still lost, but good. You're right about that for all three main teams. The USA friendlies, where they'll still have the B team, by the way, in June, are more competitive, except maybe a Saudi Arabia game and playing Canada and Mexico. Canada's friendlies are honestly more competitive in the Canadian Shield, which I will be covering when we get there. Mexico's friendlies, more competitive. The Gold Cup is honestly a waste of time, especially now that it's leading into a World Cup. Like, they could have done so much more. Cleared away. America's had a couple of chances, but not much. Toluca's had most of the ball. Now, the problem is no Paulinho. But they do have most of the ball. True. I mean, Nations League did happen. Okay, I'll take that. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Respect. I'll accept that. 926. Playing forward, good run. Nope. And this freaking lower third ad just hides the ball. I don't even know if he was right to pull back on that run. Huh. Good job, lower third ad. You made him look better. Well, I think they actually, I don't know. They might not, but they could. As I said, it seems like the best U.S. players right now are the MLS guys. Brian White, Diego Luna. Foul against Toluca. Free kick for América at the center of the field. No starting. 10 minutes. Yeah, that's about. Yeah, just keep resting, keep the ice on it. Do whatever they tell you to do. And because Mexico's been trolled. Well, how do I put this? Mexico's been absolutely dummied so much that winning trophies is a good thing. Well, winning trophies is always a good thing, but the way things have gone for Mexico, they can't just throw a trophy away. If they throw a trophy away, that looks horrible. Like, if they just say, hey, we're going to let Canada win this. We're going to put out a C team and let Canada win this. We got ours. You can't do that. Mexico's not in that situation right now to say, hey, we'll just let Canada win this. We'll let Panama win this. We're going to send a B team. No, Can't do that now. Especially right before the World Cup, and you're just starting to get respect back because you won the Nations League. Raul single-handedly did it for you, but still. You can't. You're starting to get some respect back. You're starting to at least show the signs of being competent again, which Mexico should be more than that, but they looked like they were going absolutely, they were going to collapse as well. They looked like they were about to collapse before. Well, Copa America, let's be real. Let's be real. Copa America a year ago, it looked like both Mexico and the USA were collapsing. It still looks like the USA is collapsing with a new manager. Raul Jimenez and Vasco have saved Mexico from looking like they are going through utter collapse. I still think, as I said, on paper, Canada is better. I will stick with that. I know the Nations League looked bad. It is what it is. The result does not agree with me. I get that. Because Raul Jimenez single-handedly won that game and the final, that whole damn tournament, 4 goals, all Raul for Mexico. Okay? He's the reason. And maybe a little bit of Vasco's tactical setup is all the reason. They don't look like they're collapsing anymore. The U.S. still does. Mexico has to keep pushing that belief of they're not collapsing. They have to ride this horse for as long as they could ride it until it bucks them off like a rodeo. Basically, what I mean is they have to ride this bull until it stops. Well, yeah, they have to keep riding this horse till it don't run no more. And that being Raul Jimenez scoring goals. But, you know. It's not. No. Those are preliminary squads. Those are going to get whittled down to 23, 26, or whatever. It's not going to be 50 players. That's just the list that they could pick from to pick their 23, 26-man roster. So they could pick 28 from those 50. And those are also players that if you need to call up into the squad because somebody got hurt, you could also do that as well. So those 50 players still aren't out of it this summer. If somebody gets hurt, they could be called in as a replacement. So you don't have to go down a man or go a man short on your squad. It's not a 50-man. So you could say part of it's a taxi squad by the time you don't get put on the initial roster. But if somebody gets hurt, I guess the rest of it's a taxi squad. Yeah. That would be funny. Sebastian's pretty good, though. He's a really good player. Exactly. I don't know why they're throwing it away. They're the ones who are actually actively collapsing. Mexico, they shouldn't throw the cup away. They should send their best team. But that helps them. Even if they lose, it's going to be competitive. And it's going to be, they don't look totally collapsing. The USA is throwing it away and actively facilitating their collapse a year before the World Cup. You could say, well, what about these friendlies? So, what person, I know the World Cup is coming, but nobody gives a shit. So let's just say the USA plays Brazil. Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil. Sometime between September and next March. Say they do that. 5 windows. 5 fecha FIFAs. Okay. Say they do that and they win 2-0 with their best 11. What does that say to most people? Nothing. Like, people be like, oh, they beat Brazil. Oh, it was a friendly. Oh. Who'd they send? Oh, they did send Pulisic? Okay. Like, 2-0, though? That ain't even dominant, though. Like, you got to have a really eye-popping 4-0 win to just like, have people think, okay, maybe they're not collapsing. Like, you got to do a lot of work on these friendlies and play really good teams. Not Turkey. Not San Marino. Well, they're not even somewhat useful. Shot wide. Not Vietnam. Not Iraq. Not Iran. You have to play like Japan, Brazil, England, Scotland. No. Italy? Maybe. Canada ain't going to play them in a friendly. That's past. Gold Cup's probably the last time they'll play each other until the World Cup. If they play each other during the World Cup, then so be it. Morocco again. Algeria, maybe. Egypt. Argentina. Brazil. Like, okay, so fair. No. See, you could watch Liga MX, but you shouldn't be rooting for the Mexican teams because they're Toronto's possible rivals once they get back to CCL. So the way I do it, certainly don't root for América. I would never. Or Atlas. Playing for it is Toluca. I do like Tigres. Shot saved by Malagon. That's over the bar by Vega. Toluca I have respect for. I have respect for a lot of teams. Maybe even a soft spot for some. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of any Mexican team, though. Because once it comes down to brass tacks, they're rivals to me. But do that what you will. How we doing, Adam? Exactly. You're right. I don't think AC Milan didn't even make the Club World Cup. Pulisic just chose to take the summer off. It depends on how. Like, and then do you even take that chance? It depends on how. If they lose before the semifinal, if they lose in the group stage or the quarterfinal, I'd say there's a very good likelihood of him getting fired. But even then, do they take that chance? Do they say, well, we got to get a new manager a year before the World Cup. We're just going to give him 5 friendly windows. And even then, how long does it take you to hire that new manager? Your new manager might only have 3 friendly windows at worst or at best. If you don't speed up the process. And I don't think Jesse Marsch is going to take a call from the USA and say, hey, well, you know what? I'll take your job. I'll save your ass. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think Greg Berhalter is going to leave Chicago just to save the USA's ass. The doors that they'll knock on aren't good doors. And then Bruce Arena might just say, screw you, I'm staying in San Jose, or I'm doing both. I'll pull a Tuca, play both, do both. Best I can do is do both. If they do call him. So basically, it's do they even take that chance? I think it's more likely they take the chance of firing Poch if he does not get to the semifinals at the very least. If he gets to the semifinals, even if it's an ass kicking, he'll probably stay in the job. If they lose the final, he's probably going to stay. No matter if it's ass kicking or close. If they win the final, well, that's a moot point. I think there's more of a likelihood they pull the trigger on Poch and make him walk the plank if he gets knocked out in the groups or the quarterfinals. And the more ass kickings there are, the more likely. I still think that the likelihood of Poch getting fired is just above 50% in that case. I'd say about 65. I'd say about 65, maybe 70-30 at the worst case scenario. 70-30, he gets fired. 70, he gets fired. 30, he doesn't. Quarterfinals, competitive quarterfinal, probably 55-45. Most cases, 60-40 that he gets fired. At this point, it's going to be a tight one. Is that an Amazon box on the field? Who the hell? 22nd minute, 0-0, settle. I still think at worst it's 70-30 he gets fired. At worst. 23rd minute. I agree with that. Exactly. See, there's a reason why the USA punched above their weight. It wasn't their talent. It was the way those guys played. It was the way Donovan played. It was the way Dempsey played. It was the way Tim Howard played. It was their heart, not their talent. These kids got given everything. As Alexi Wallace said, these kids got given everything. These kids got given everything to absolutely possibly squander everything they've been given. The balls are on the Amazon boxes. What are we doing? Throw in for Toluca. But he's right. Yeah, I did. Off camera. It was more of off camera, but I still did. You're probably right. But exactly. Also, no Club World Cup, so. Well, duh. Of course they are. Who are we talking about? Yep. Probably going back to Vegas. Pochettino's going to go to the World Cup to only get embarrassed to the USA. Probably. At this point. Yep. Toluca bought the ref. If anybody bought the ref, it was América. Dude, Televisa owns TUDN and América. Dude. Oh, come on. Really? Toluca bought the ref. That's funny. Playing forward. Televisa FC. 3 clear fouls. Throw in for América. Cross in. Shot! Off the line? No. Hold on. Oh, no, that was cleared off the line. 5-0 Carolina. Wow. No, they choked. Mir choked. Sanchez choked. They choked. Throw in. They choked. I wouldn't say exactly. I agree with that. No, I agree with that. Huh. Interesting. Wow. How's that not a slam dunk? Yes. We'll be live for it on the 31st. We have a triple header. 3 lives, 3 reviews on Saturday the 31st. Not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. One of those is LAFC América. Thank you, Leafs. Say thank you to the Toronto Maple Leafs for being choking bastards. Also, thank you to the MLS schedulers for making sure there was enough time in between. But playing forward. Oh, okay, that might be. I think Toluca might have got lucky there. I think I think they might have got lucky there. I won't even lie. VAR, maybe? I won't even lie. That, you might not get away with that one. I don't know how that's not a penalty, actually. And a foul the other way. Yellow card. Yellow card for Cáceres. Okay. Okay, maybe you have a point. Maybe you have a point. Toluca bought the ref. Maybe you have a point. Huh. Okay, maybe you have a point. I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe you have a point. 29th minute. The Maple Leafs wouldn't have been the ones who got ass kicked. Yes, they're not going back to Raleigh. Well, the next time they go back to Raleigh, they're cleaning out their lockers, the Hurricanes. PSG's the favorite. I think the trophy's going to Paris. I want Inter Milan to win. Header over the bar. I think PSG's the favorite. I think the trophy's going to end up in Paris. I want Inter to win. Just like the Man City final. I thought the trophy was going to end up. I thought Man City was the favorite. I thought the trophy would end up in Manchester on the blue side. I wanted Inter Milan to win. Same situation here as it was 2 years ago. Just like when the Leafs lost the second round to the Florida Panthers 2 years ago. Yeah, Milan's going down to PSG, aren't they? I'll be wearing the Italy jersey, though, on the 31st, at least for the first match of 3. And they're going to lose. Like I would have expected. 30th minute. And honestly, I agree, but I think we all know where this is going, just like 2 years ago. I think we all know where this is going. Ref's a Cruz Azul fan. Really, or are you trolling? Really, or are you trolling? Oh, no. I hope they win the Conference League too, yes. 31st minute, 0-0, settle. Of course I do. We'll find out Wednesday. I'll be live for it. And then TFC plays later that night. So 2 streams on Wednesday, by the way, next week. And then we do a prediction video Friday, I think. So Monday, Tuesday off next week, I think. Wednesday, 2 streams, 2 reviews. Thursday off. Friday, CCL prediction. Saturday, the triple header. UEFA Champions League, Toronto FC, Club World Cup play-in. Then Champions Cup final on Sunday. Suit day, by the way. We will be wearing the suit Sunday the 1st. The first day of hurricane season and the last day of the Champions Cup season, we'll be wearing the suit. Don't worry. The suit will come out on Yeah. And they might win a quad when it comes to domestically and continentally. Fair enough. What a beautiful time. Chelsea's back in the UCL final. Why are you making me act like Lewis? That is so shameless. I love Lewis's content. I do. That is so shameless. The UCL thing. I mean, technically, they took the Europa out of the title of the tournament, so technically it is UCL, but even UEFA still hashtags it UECL. So, the shorthand is still UEFA Europa Conference League. Technically. That is so shameless. It's like, Chelsea could qualify to the UCL this weekend and win the UCL on Wednesday. Oh, God. No, that just feels shameless. I mean, they really can qualify for the real UCL on Sunday against Forest, but that is shameless. No, it's shameless. It's shameless. I hope you're right. I would love to see it. Well, I mean, Chelsea hasn't won something since Porto, so. I mean, it's, yeah, the Club World Cup. I forgot about that. They haven't won something since that Club World Cup. I've started to forget, too. That's funny. Yep. Club World Cup. Yeah, that'll be something. I agree. Plays forward. That'll be cleared away by América. Toluca doesn't even look that bad. The problem is yeah, I agree. All they had to do was win the series. They could have been going to a final. "35th minute. Like, let me tell you something. If Chelsea wins the Conference League, here's exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I'm happy we completed the set once again of European trophies, but God, I never want to see them play this godforsaken tournament ever again. I know the Panthers got shut out. Surprise, surprise. Like, I will say that verbatim. I'm happy Chelsea completed the set. They have all the European trophies once again. That being the Cup Winners' Cup, the Champions League, Europa League, and then if they win on Wednesday, one Conference League. I hope they never make it two. I never want to see them play this godforsaken tournament ever again. Especially if they win. If they lose, I guess we have to just complete the set down the line, but I hope it takes a while. Because she's Canadian. Jackie Redmond is Canadian. She was working for Sportsnet before she got to WWE. Also, I think she was doing hockey games before she got to WWE too. She was on Blue Jays games a lot during the mid-2010s. You realize she's Canadian, right? Saved by Malagon. Yep, Gotham are going to play Tigres after beating Club América 3-1, the CONCACAF W Champions Cup final. And I don't know exactly who I want to root for in that final on Saturday. I don't know. It's an NWSL Liga MX Femenil final, but Tigres, soft spot for Tigres or root for the NWSL? I'm not sure. I would have, if it was Portland versus Gotham, I would have rooted for Portland. Now, I was rooting for Portland over Tigres. That didn't happen. Really? Put it back on the game. TDNA. Dude. Okay. Throw in. Yep. Basically, the FIFA Women's Intercontinental Cup. Good. How we doing, soccer guy? You should be hyped. If you don't qualify to the Champions League, if Chelsea loses this weekend and they don't qualify to the Champions League, yes, if they win the Conference League, they would go to Europa due to their league position and winning the trophy. But if they win this weekend against Nottingham Forest, they will go to the Champions League because of their league position, even if they win the trophy. So do that what you will. Now, I've heard rumors that they could choose which tournament to play in, the Europa League or Champions League, if they win the trophy and then qualify through league positions. But I don't know why, one, you would choose the Europa League over the Champions League. Second of all, I hope that's just a troll job headline considering their Champions League fate's in their hands. That if they win their games, they could go to the Champions League. Like, yeah, they technically could choose which tournament to go to, in theory. Like, technically, Chelsea can choose which tournament to go to. Yeah, that's the troll job part of it. They can. They win their Prem games, which they have been. They have it in their hands to choose the Champions League. Now, if they win the Conference League and do both, well, there you go. But I hope that's a troll job. Like, people are just like, well, technically they can choose, you know, by the way they perform. But Vamos Italia. Forza Italia. It's Forza Italia. Real Madrid. That's who I support. Of course, Barcelona's winning the league this season. And they've already got confirmed. And they'll probably win the treble next year because Madrid's a joke. Thinking freaking Trent Alexander-Arnold will fix all your defensive problems. Go ahead. Oh, by the way, they let Luka Modric walk out the door. Dumb. 40th minute. 0-0. 0-0. Awesome. I'll probably go watch it. Well, if Bruno Fernandes leaves this summer, you might get relegated next year. And then, who knows? Maybe they won't even win the championship. How bad of a bottle job would that be by United if they get relegated next year and then the next year they're in the Sky Bet Championship, the EFL Championship? They can't even win the championship, finish top of the championship. Add on the fact if they don't go up through playoffs or just go up at all. How much of a bottle job would that be? The Glazers don't care. I agree. I hope he goes back to Spurs. You know, I wish Luka the best. I think Madrid was wrong for getting rid of him. Offensively, good. Defensively, a absolute tragedy, but how's that any different to how he was at Liverpool? Maybe he'll pocket like Getafe or something. I don't know. He'll pocket a promoted team and look like a freaking world beater and then maybe score a goal that game. He's a total defensive liability. Defensive liability, okay offensively, but that's about what he always does. Yeah, as always. 42nd minute. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a defensive liability. Offensively, good. Defensively, liability. There's a reason why they threw him in midfield. Liverpool did. Yeah, he did play better in midfield, but you have to do less defensively. 42nd minute. Going Galactico to fix your defense? How stupid are you, Florentino? How stupid are you? How stupid are you? Very, right. 42nd minute. 0-0. Settle. Crossed it. How is that not crossing? I don't know, man. That probably should be... I don't know. That should probably be a penalty. Andiamo Italia. There we go. Better. How are we doing, Chamfle? Your team isn't doing so bad. Betis. Mallorca. Well, Kyle Larin does play there. Your team's doing okay. The referee is horrible tonight, though. Toluca's hanging tough. Toluca, their best case scenario is get out of this game with a draw. Even scoring, because away goals don't matter. Also, pray to God that Paulinho could play leg 2. That also matters. Get out of this game with a draw or a 1-0 win. Best case, well, that would be very best case scenario. Get out of this game with a draw. Whether it's 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, you might, if América scores 2, you've lost the game. Let's be real with the way this is going. Draw 0-0, 1-1, or win 1-0 if you're Toluca and hope to God Paulinho plays the next leg, the second leg. If he doesn't, you're screwed anyway. I know it's at Estadio Nemesio Diaz, but you might be screwed anyway if he doesn't play, even if you have the draw into the second leg. Don't let this get out of hand, is what I'm saying. Hell, even a 1-0 loss, you could still survive if he plays. You might. Yeah, but he wanted to leave, so sucks if you get a penalty. If you get a penalty, you might not score. AKA. We're going to see. "45th minute. Yeah. I mean, Nemesio Diaz is a hard stadium to play in, but this is Club América. Let's be real here. Herediano did make a comeback at Nemesio Diaz. 2 minutes of stoppage time? They put a digit in front of it. What? Should I be concerned no rumors are coming out of Toronto FC's office? Yes. I would be concerned because there'd still be some rumors by now. Yeah? So I guess it's good that your main goalkeeper's hurt then, I guess. 46th minute. América playing forward. With 1 minute to go of stoppage time. Headed away. Possession-wise, Toluca's done well. Problem being, oh no, América actually flipped the possession percentage. Oh, Toluca still has more shots, though, by 1. 46th minute. Went to the doctor appointment last Tuesday, checked results of ultrasound for kidney and bladder. Doctor told me results were normal. No problem through my kidney. Good. I'm happy to hear you're healthy. You got a clean bill of health there. I'm happy to hear that. Let me see what else you put. I say Barca wins the Women's Champions League final. Barca's too good. Like, Barca is too good. Barca Femini is too good. They're too good. There is no damn way. I'm going to say it. There is no damn way Arsenal wins that final. No way. Chelsea played Barca in the semis. Chelsea were undefeated in domestic play. Treble with Bon Pastor as their manager after losing Emma Hayes to the U.S. Women's National Team. 0-0 at the half. If they can't win, if Chelsea can't beat Barca, the best Chelsea we might have ever seen on the women's side of things, you think Arsenal's going to win? They're getting killed by Barca. You heard it here first. 0-0 at the half. 0-0 medio tiempo. Esta noche y global. 0-0 on aggregate and on the night at the half of this first leg. Toluca survived the first half. They got to survive the second. If they did that, they did their job at this point. So, 60% possession to 44 shots, 5. Oh, Toluca still has more shots on goal. I'm rooting for LAFC. Duh. I'm rooting for MLS. I'm rooting for MLS that next Saturday. Of course. What, you think I was going to root for América? Come on now. I'm so mad about last night's game. Open Cup, we had it won. We just had to give Forsberg a free kick. If I had a football channel, this would be a rant video for me. I know how you feel. The worst was when we lost in penalties. Oh, I know how you feel. Bullshit. Yep, I know. I'm a Chelsea fan, I know. Dude, the only time I'm actually going to root for, the only time I root for América and did it proudly was when they played Montreal. And if you ever do that again, if you ever do play Montreal or Vancouver in a CCL final again, then I'll root for y'all again. That's the only way. Or, okay, also, if América plays Atlas in the Liga MX final, I'll root for América. I'll be real. If América plays Atlas during a final of Leagues Cup or Liga MX or even CCL, I'll root for América over Atlas. Because here's the thing. I do respect the history of Club América. I respect their history. I respect what they've done. América beating Atlas would be good. Atlas is a pissant club. Atlas is a pissant club. I'd rather history win than a pissant club. So if Atlas ever gets good again and they play América during a final, or it's just Copa MX comes back and that's how that's a final, I'll root for América there as well because at least I can respect their history. I at least respect América's history and what they've done. Just another trophy to go to their beautiful history, their wonderful history. Atlas is a pissant club. Atlas is like that little dog that thinks they're a freaking Great Dane that just barks and barks. And thinks they could beat a freaking Rottweiler, but they can't. It's kind of what they are. They're a pest. It's a club of pests. So I can respect América. Three. Probably. If they play Montreal during a cup final, yeah, I would. If they played Vancouver during a cup final, I would. Hell, Seattle. Well, at this point, I don't know, maybe. If they played Seattle during a cup final, maybe. I may root for América. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a reason to, but Seattle, I might. I might have to consider it. Atlas, yes. I hate Atlas that much. Well, they're not the Cowboys then. Yeah, they're the Eagles. See, the reason why Stephen A. Smith compared the Leafs to the Cowboys is because the Leafs don't win shit. You can't be the Cowboys if you win shit. Like, at least America could talk shit. Grande de corazón. They could talk shit because they win. They could talk shit because they win. They are 90 plus 45, 135 minutes away, give or take, to a tetracampeón. That has never happened before. In the history of Torneos Cortos, this has never happened before. They are 135 minutes away. They actually win shit. Even though they haven't won a CCL in 10 years, which they still haven't won that. God help us. They've still won 8. They've still won 8. Well, that John's Cup counts. Yeah, John's Cup counts. That one time they did John's Cup, that counts. I don't care. It counts. Whether it is 7 or 8, but John's Cup counts. Forget about that, didn't you? Didn't you? Well, yeah. Because you have the Club World Cup to worry about possibly. And Saturday. Exactly. There we go. Yep. I don't know. I don't watch basketball. Raptors suck. I don't watch basketball much. Exactly. For better or for worse, exactly. Except the América actually wins still. The Yankees are still stuck on 27. And their best chance to make it 28, well, you know what happened. It was just less than a year ago. What, 10 months ago? No, about 6. It was about 6 months ago when the Yankees had their best chance to make it 28 and they dropped the ball. Literally! Literally. I'm still pissed about it, but I'm getting over it. The Liga MX fans can be happy, though. I'm doing this instead. With that being said, Sid's happy back. Short break at the half. We're back for the stats at the half. 60% possession to 40% possession, 4 shot to 5, 1 shot on goal to 2, 203 accurate passes, 86% to 124, 77%, 5 fouls, 12, 2 corners to 1, 4 shots to 5, 4 shots to 5, 1 shot on goal to 2. We have 237 pass to 161, 86% pass accuracy to 77. 2 offside to 1, 12 throws to 7, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red card, 0, 0-0 at the half, 0-0 medio tiempo. Esta noche igual, 0-0 on aggregate and on the night. With that being said, honestly, the first 45 minutes, Toluca's holding on. Their game plan tonight without Paulinho was pretty much hold on for dear life and not let this get out of hand. And they've looked somewhat good. They've looked somewhat good in this game. They've looked somewhat good. They've played well. They've played strongly. They've defended well. América hasn't had many chances that were clear-cut. The referee's been horrible. I could say that much. The referee's been horrible tonight. But so far, Toluca's doing what they're supposed to do when it comes to playing this game throughout the first half. Trying to get it back to the second leg at Nemesio Diaz. But we shall see what happens here. We'll see. We'll see. But we'll see what happens. I don't know either. Damn. I don't know either, really. Huh. I haven't even noticed. Damn. Hold on. I told you he was a diva. I told you he was a diva. Damn. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Huh. But I don't know what happened, man. Yeah, I told you he was a diva. I told you he makes teams worse. I mean, Cincinnati started really hot, but it could be where they were playing. But no, I told you that he makes teams worse. I watched the Can Champ. One. Second of all, I haven't watched the Liga MX game since before the Leafs made the playoffs. If I didn't do this final, even if I would have been right not to do it, if the Leafs made it to the third round, somebody would have been pissed. Besides, I don't even think there's a CPL game today. They just played Can Champ games Tuesday and Wednesday. There was no CCL game or Can Champ CPL games today. So it's not like there was a Either way. Waiting for the second half to start. No, because it would be Northern Super League is what you were thinking about. Speaking of, AFC Toronto beat the Montreal Roses 2-0. You love to see it. You love to see it. Well, it's on FS2 and Fox Soccer Plus. You just got to know when to find it. You also have to have Fox Soccer Plus. That helps. Most of them are Fox Soccer Plus, though. Most of them are Fox Soccer Plus, though. So that definitely. Now that I have YouTube TV with Fox Soccer Plus, good. Better than pirating it. Either way. Yep. Waiting for the second half to start. Thoughts on Tottenham winning a trophy? Happy about it. I'm honestly happy about it because Ange Postecoglou won a trophy, and he was right. He said, "Oh, I win things in my second season." Said that, 8 months ago? Like, a little bit after the season started, but he said it, and he called it. He called his shot. 17th in the Prem, still wins a trophy in his second season. Tottenham won a trophy. Finally. He called his damn shot. Like, I've always been a fan of Ange Postecoglou. Thought he was awesome at Celtic. Won't say a bad word about him. Understand the feeling. This is funny. Spurs guaranteed Champions League spot, finishing 17th, while 5 teams still battling for UCL spots is absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Second half about to start. Can Toluca hold on or score a goal? Could they actually win outright? We're going to find out. 45 more minutes of this first leg of the final. 0-0. Settle. Here we go. Toluca. By the way, if you watch Football Americas, they are not live tonight. They're going to be live on Friday. Which, guess that works for me. I just watched Monday's episode yesterday. Because I didn't watch it Monday because of the severe weather. Tuesday, I just chose to push it to Wednesday, and then I watched it Wednesday. So, yeah, the episode. So, yeah, Football Americas doesn't come on tonight if you watch Sebi, or not Sebi's show anymore. Herc's show. Forgot Vancouver Cruz Azul final. That's June 1st. By the way, I'll be wearing a suit for that one. So, amazing. Of course, you would want that. I hope you get what you want. If they win, I hope you get what you want. I saw. It's total bullshit. As in the fact that he's not going. That's total bullshit. Yep. Especially the Glazers. And all because of a horse. All because of a racehorse. The Glazers ruined the club. Y'all know that story or not? I can't lie. I just learned about that story today. Reading through the thread of like after Sir Alex's reaction to the final, the Europa League final, losing to Tottenham. Because Sir Alex and the former owner of Man United had a falling out over the ownership of a racehorse and the rights, the stud fee rights or whatever of the horse. The old owner sold the club to the Glazers, and Sir Alex cheered on that takeover. So, do with that what you will. Yeah, Brian White, Sebastian Berhalter might do some big stuff for the USA at this Gold Cup. I hope they do make the roster. 47th minute. Melbourne City women will win the AFC Women's Champions League. I feel like a team who has a setup, a professional setup like Melbourne will win. So, Melbourne City. Melbourne City. I agree. He sucks. I agree. He sucks. 47th minute. But there's a lot of things United's done over the past 12 years they should have never done. So, oh, look, a DraftKings Sportsbook ad on this game. Holy Lord. Ah, Jesus. 48th minute. Well, let's not do that. Send him to Man City. Send him to Man City. Yellow card, 48th minute. Minute free kick. Yes, but the Panthers are also better, so. Yeah. Cruz Azul, I mean, they did it to themselves. They blew it themselves. Let's be real. They blew it themselves. They actually blew that game. You can't blame that shit on nobody but yourself. Like, I'll be real. The second leg of that final, Cruz Azul should blame that one on themselves. You can't blame that shit on nobody but you. Can't blame that shit on nobody but you. 50th minute, 0-0. Because Vegas, I don't know, somebody must have paid a big bundle of money to tell New Orleans to get stuffed. Whether that was Vegas or Saudi Arabia or London. Well, I mean, at least if Amarim's the coach, who knows? Playing forward, Toluca attacking, still Toluca. And no free kick. Huh? Now, this ref just sucks in general. 50th minute. Playing forward. '50th minute. Yeah, I think they will. Hell, I might be pissed off. I think I might be pissed off too. Yeah, a lot of people are pissed about that. And honestly, I understand why, because WWE doesn't understand what AAA or Lucha Libre means to Mexico. I understand. No, I understand it. Like, WWE thinks they bought their Mexican outpost. It's not like that. Lucha Libre, the reason why WWE doesn't do so well in Mexico, even though they have Rey Mysterio and Penta and Rey Fenix and other luchadors, is because lucha is a way of life in Mexico. Lucha is the way they express themselves in the wrestling business. If you're not from Mexico or you don't know wrestling like that, you don't understand. And let's be honest, besides Rey Mysterio, Vince McMahon bastardized lucha so damn bad it wasn't even funny. Like, I understand it. And Triple H respects it. Like, I don't see him bastardizing lucha. Like, he uses the guys that are Andrade, Santos Escobar, Humberto, Angel Garza, Penta, Rey Fenix. He uses those guys right. But Vince did so bad with the luchadors and even Rey Mysterio sometimes that I understand. And Eddie Guerrero, I think the reason he didn't get treated so badly is because Eddie was just different. You know? Like, Eddie was just different. Hell, even Chavo got treated like shit sometimes, though. Remember Kerwin White? Remember that? That was Chavo. That was Chavo. Kerwin White was Chavo. Remember that? So, no, I totally understand it. Why people are mad with AAA being bought by WWE. Exactly. I love AAA. I think they've had some really good matches. I love watching the AAA channel on Pluto because there's a 24-hour AAA channel on Pluto. I love what they do, and CMLL as well. And CMLL is going hard against this, which they should. They have every right to do. Because what AAA did is tantamount to a betrayal of the Mexican fan base. No. Shot over the bar. Yeah, you're not in need of full revamp, yes. Exactly. Yep. At least not purely lucha. Even though Penta is amazing, I think Penta I've always had respect for. I've always loved what Penta has done. Lucha Underground and since Rey Fenix, he's good. He's not Penta. He's not his brother, but he's good. He's not his brother, but he's good. They're actually shoot brothers, by the way. Yeah, I remember. Well, technically, not really, though. I'll defend WWE on this one. Sin Cara was built of glass. Místico was built of glass. That man got injured in the wildest ways possible. Like, I'll defend WWE on that one. Original Sin Cara? No. Yeah, no. I'll defend WWE there. I don't think they did him dirty. He did himself dirty. At least when he was in WWE, he did himself dirty. Getting injured the freaking way he does and botching all the time. I mean, come on. And I know he could do better than that. I've watched his matches in Mexico. before his WWE run and since. I know he could do better. So don't give me that shit that I don't know. I know. I've seen him in Mexico, in lucha matches, in Mexican companies. I've seen them. I know he could do better. I've seen before and since he got released. Before he got signed and after he got released. No, he was his own worst enemy. I'm sorry. I'll defend WWE there. His body was his own worst enemy. I'll defend WWE there. I don't think he got done dirty. Ray was so popular, that's why. I think his popularity was so big, and he was so close to Eddie that it just... Eddie kind of put him over. Let's be real. Being so close to Eddie put him over. And Eddie passing, I'm not saying Ray would have failed had Eddie still lived, but Ray doing it for Eddie sort of put him, cemented him where he is. And I'm not saying anything bad about that. I think Ray used Eddie's situation, Eddie passing, as basically, which one of Eddie's last feuds was against Ray. And they were always close. It wasn't a joke. Like, they were always close. They were family. Not legitimately, but in the way of Mexican wrestling, they were a family. And Ray doing it for Eddie basically cemented him. And then winning that world championship and Ray being loved by everybody, I think that's what did it. Like, Ray was good at his work. He was a very good wrestler. He still is. With no knees now, by the way. I don't know how he still does it, but, you know, it's crazy. But Ray, he did it for Eddie. Like, doing it for Eddie basically got Ray to where he is today. I'm not saying that Ray would have been a failure had Eddie still lived. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, Ray wouldn't have got that world title run if Eddie was still alive. And basically doing it for Eddie made Ray into this superstar, WWE-wise, and made him become loved by everybody. He was still a star before Eddie died and before the world title run, but that changed everything. And, hey, I understand it. I understand it. It is what it is. Still 0-0. 0-0, 0-0. Yeah, I agree with that. Del Rio did it to himself. Sin Cara, he did it to himself. Dropped the ball most where it was Vince's fault. Kalisto, Samurai del Sol. Yeah. I think Kalisto could have been the next Rey Mysterio, and it wasn't. That's kind of what he was going for. Yeah, Kalisto, Samurai del Sol. Yeah. Alberto Del Rio. Well, no, he did it to himself. Besides, I know Alberto was Dos Caras Jr. He was a luchador in Mexico, but dude do you see how tall he is? I think he's better off being El Patron. I don't call him a luchador. I don't call Del Rio a luchador. He's a Mexican wrestler. There's a difference. There's a difference. Del Rio was actually more made to be in WWE, I believe. He's been his own worst enemy. And not really his in-ring work. It's more of he loves the snow just as much as Tony Khan. And I mean the actual, that snow, not the other. I mean the no snow. So that was part of it. I know he's gotten better. I think. I haven't heard as much. But for a while there, exactly. I wished Camacho was pretty good, yeah. Because they had to get it back on John Cena. I even was pissed off how that went down. I won't even lie. I'm a Cena stan, and I was like, really? Really? You couldn't give Ray a week? And then let Cena win the damn thing? No, you have to do it within the hour? Jesus Christ. Can't let Ray have a week? They kind of rushed the summer of Punk anyway. Either way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that did happen. Still 0-0. Toluca is still surviving. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Eddie dying also helped. He did care and he adapted well pre-Eddie's death, and then Eddie's death made him a superstar. The fact he did it for Eddie made him a superstar. But I agree, you are right. That is part of it. But I also think him doing it for Eddie, becoming his gimmick, that was the striker that made his flame burn hotter, you know? But I agree. Yeah, he is. He is. He's Tongaloa. Yeah. So he's back in WWE, did you know? After being in New Japan for what? 10 years? Something like that. $63rd minute. Playing forward. Good block by Toluca. They're still surviving. No, Pacers in 6. You don't choke like that game 1 and still survive. No. If I know what I know about 7-game series, you don't choke in game 1 like that and pull it off. Playing forward, shot cleared by América. Corner for Toluca. Cross in. Header cleared away by América. Oh. No. 65th minute. Playing forward, 65th minute. I don't know. Because Vince don't respect Lucha. Vince didn't understand it. Also, most of them are very small. Dude, you not realize how... Dude, have you seen anybody Vince pushed? Most guys Vince pushed? Daniel Bryan and Ray were lucky. I never thought about it that deeply. It was the mid-2000s. I never thought about it that deeply. It was the mid-2000s. And I'm not going to put something in the mid-2000s through a 2025 lens because either answer could be the wrong one. So I'll leave it in 2005 when I was a 5-year-old kid and didn't think about it through that lens. Because whatever answer I come up with is going to be the wrong one. So I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole, no. No answer will be the right one. No answer about that will be the right one. So I'm just going to leave that in 2005. I'm going to leave that in the mid-2000s when I was only a 5, 6, 7-year-old kid and not thinking about it that way. I'm going to leave it at there. And you can't disagree that that's probably a smart decision. I'm going to leave that there. Nobody, because back then, nobody gave a shit. Because back then, nobody gave a shit. Could you get away with that nowadays? No. No, you couldn't get away with that nowadays. I'll say that much. You probably couldn't get away with that 2025. Remember a story from the Son of El Santo where WWE wanted to sign him? They wanted the rights to El Santo's character. That's why I hate this deal. They wanted the rights to take the rights. That's what they do. Do you realize that John Cena has to, like WWE, his movies, John Cena has to pay WWE a percentage of what he makes off of his movies because they let him use his name. You do realize that, right? His birth name, by the way. He has to pay them a portion of his earnings from movies. At least Vince, he did Vince. I don't know about now. Maybe TKO is a little bit better about that. I don't know. But, lol. '69th minute. Well, what do you think? The Marine won. The first Marine movie with John Cena. It actually is a good movie, though. I mean, well, yeah. Marine. The first Marine movie. It was actually a really good movie. Like, I think it was a really good movie. Like, it's actually pretty good. There's a reason why John Cena's in Hollywood. He can actually act. Because he's a company man. I don't think he's ever been in a movie that wasn't made by WWE Studios. Oh, but he's the A-lister. Sure, you're the D-lister. Hey, Miz. Dude, you say you're Hollywood, but you've only been in movies made by the WWE. I've never seen you in an actual movie made by Paramount or MGM or Universal. You call yourself the A-lister? Dude, you're the D-lister. Dude, the only reason people know you is because of the real world. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, yeah, you could say, but I was on the real world. Huh? Okay, so that's the only thing WWE Studios didn't make. Oh, and The Challenge, which is really just a bastardized version of Fear Factor. What, you gonna go on Joe Rogan's podcast now? Go eat some spiders? No? Yeah. Go ahead, D-lister. Go ahead. 71st minute. That's out for a goal kick. Oh, yeah, they do. Especially back during the Vince era. I think they've gotten a little bit better about that, but exactly. The fact that people still remember it, that's a good thing. That's what I'll say. I think the fact that people still remember it's a good thing. Cervantes and Aguirre coming on for Dos Santos, Jonah Dos Santos, and Henry Martin. He did nothing. He did nothing. Well, he did just come back from injury for Aguirre. It's been a while. It's been a little bit. Do you think The Call was a good movie by WWE Studios? Never really. I don't think I saw it. No. Wait, is that the one Otunga was in? Wait. I think that was, right? That was the one. I mean, it was passable. Wait, I think I did see it, actually. Yeah, I don't remember much about it. It was passable. Like, it didn't suck. No, I think I saw it that, yeah, I don't remember much about it, but it was passable. It didn't suck. I haven't heard about that, no. Well, no, not even CBS Morning News or whatever, no. 73rd minute. No, 73rd minute. '74th minute, 0-0. Yeah, they were. Honestly, made the movie better. I remember. Like, Miz doesn't give me Marine vibes anyway, really. If anything. Well, he's not Private Pile. He actually is in good shape. Can't call him Private Pile. He's in good shape. I saw. Do we think that might be Edge's retirement show? Do you think that's possible? I don't know. Maybe. 75th minute. I wonder. Do you think Darby Allin's going to take the title off Moxley? No. Tony Khan wouldn't do that to Mox? No. I don't think anybody would put the title on Darby Allin. Especially off of Mox? No. Tell me, Darby Allin's a main eventer? Toluca going forward? No. Darby Allin is not a main eventer. That man is a joke. Dude's going to be remembered more for climbing Everest than actually doing anything worthwhile in wrestling. Yeah, he's taking some crazy bumps, but dude, they made Sting retire. during a tag match with Darby Allin. That is horrible. Sting deserved better. Well, I don't watch the Pissant Company. I didn't know the story. Okay, so Darby Allin's chasing him. Wow. Okay, so he's going to win the title. I knew Tony Khan was an idiot. I didn't realize he was that much of an idiot. Sometimes you got to swerve people. Darby Allin's the best you could come up with. Uh, 77th minute. Wow. Okay. I mean, okay, that makes no sense. Dude, this TUDNA kiss cam is just... At least a kiss cam in a stadium doesn't have some dude freaking throwing thumbs up in front of the couple. What the... No. Call that a cut cam. What are we doing here? Every stadium. Well, didn't y'all just beat Dallas on penalties? I mean, jokes we can't make anymore after the season. Tottenham's trophy lists, Real Madrid's comeback team, Holland's a goal-scoring robot, NYCFC is good. Well, yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. But y'all still want an Open Cup game. Hold on, let me make sure. Why would you be... Yeah, they won the shootout, yeah. Yeah, they won the shootout. They're in the quarterfinals. The referee is Daniel Quintero. He won't get fired. What ref in Liga MX has gotten fired? Like, seriously, how would a referee in Liga MX get fired? Dominguez coming on for Toluca? Like, no. This ref sucks, but he ain't getting fired. Yeah, I saw about that. And then she asked the club for tickets. Really good tickets. She didn't get them. Oh, I heard it through... I heard somebody say she had a... Basically, she's the América Astrid wet. Basically. That's the PG way of saying it. I guess. 80th minute. Yeah, he's not a good striker, yeah. 2 of his goals were against the Galaxy. Good point. Basically playing a B team because Marcucci's in goal. Starts Sofo is usually on the bench. It's 2 off a penalty. Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Oh, so, well, 2 refs got fired. I was wrong. Sofo should be starting as well as Harper. Fair enough. Female ref got fired. Cheeky Dracula. Oh, both courtesy of Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Yeah. Cameron Harper's a really good player. I've been saying that. 80th minute, 0-0. 0-0. So, yeah, 2 Liga MX refs got fired. Well, that's more than I thought. And a Mexican referee did get suspended from CONCACAF play because he asked for Messi's jersey on the field. That was stupid, though. He got what he deserved. Like, how are you going to ask Messi on the field in front of the camera? Can I have your jersey? You damn fool. When do Toronto play Red Bull? The Toronto Red Bull home game it's got to be a while. Hold on. Oh, I had the other tab open. Let's see. MLS. Table. Toronto FC. Fixtures. Oh, the home game's the 25th of June. Wednesday, the 25th of June. The second game. The reverse fixture. They've already played one, of course. They've already played one. They'll play the reverse fixture June 25. Lol Girault. 2 substitutions for América. Toluca's holding on for the draw so far. Alvarez off for Ramon Juarez, and Girault's on for Eric Sanchez. Girault still exists. Oh, well, I forgot about him. I'm happy about it. It was an awesome game. Yep. I forgot Girault existed. I didn't realize he still exists. Speaking of 7 goals in one game, oh, Lord. I don't think Daniel's here. Saved by Malagon. Wasn't that guy going to Suriname? I think he could play for Suriname, which is what I think the news was. But he hasn't. But I don't think he's made the switch yet. Yeah, they were, because the Galaxy sucks ass. That was a crazy game. I'm like, damn. The Galaxy's that bad. I mean, the Red Bulls are well, I don't know about solid, but they're useful this year. And then they scored a touchdown on the Galaxy. 84th minute. Man, this review's going to suck. Have to do it, though. '84th minute. Wide. Red Bulls. Yeah. '85th minute. Yeah, WrestleMania 42 is going to be back in Vegas next year. Again, really? I will never understand why Suriname and French Guiana play in CONCACAF when they're physically in CONMEBOL territory. You're the same as me. I don't understand it either. It makes no sense to me either. I can't. That proves Pizarro's a fraud. They almost lost to the Galaxy. You got a point. But that's why you don't. Age is a thing. Age is a real thing. We all get old. They freaking scored a touchdown on LA Galaxy. You'll make the playoffs. Besides, I ain't think Toronto gonna make the playoffs. So that's one spot. Oh, Montreal won't either. So that's at least, you're going to be 2 away from the playoff line at the very least. DC sucks ass. That's probably 3. So worst case scenario, you're 3 spots away from the playoff line. Charlotte looks fraudulent, but I think they banked enough points. They'll probably still finish above the playoff line. Miami's fraudulent, but I think they've probably banked enough points. So we'll see. Probably best case, 10th in the East. Best case. Best case. Really, probably 11th or 12th. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Oh, yeah, the Dodgers do suck this year. I did not expect that at all. Pollo Briseño's coming on for Toluca, 87th minute. Standings, let's see. Well, no. They're 31-19. The Dodgers did suck for a little bit, though. The Blue Jays are 2nd in the AL East. Wait, what? Still 2 games out of the wild card, though. But 2nd in the AL East. Oh, because all the AL Central's in the wild card. Okay, well, at least we're around where Houston is. That's useful. '88th minute. Toluca playing forward. Can they steal a goal? It looks to me like they'll hold on. Let's see if they hold on to the 0-0 draw and get back home. And then now you got to hope for Paulinho to be healthy if you're Toluca. But you get a 0-0 draw. Worst case scenario, the game ends up at home a draw. The aggregate's a draw. You have to go to extra time. 89th minute. Now, the problem with that is Paulinho can't play the whole damn game. One minute left of regular time, and then you have the stoppage time. Toluca played the game they were supposed to play to hold on. All to play for Sunday. You love to see it. '89th minute. They say 8 o'clock. That's going to be a free kick. 89th minute, 30 minutes or 30 seconds to go. Oh, plans. Yep. Jays are playing good at the moment. I agree. They are 2nd in the AL East, which is something. Finally over 500 after sweeping the Padres. I can't believe they swept the Padres, but that's a good place to be. 90th minute. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Toluca has to hold on for 4 more minutes. They've held on for 90. They should be able to hold on for 4. Oh, they were thinking they might have had a penalty shout, but no. Blocked. You know what? Now I have to review this game, don't I? Okay, we'll make a small review. Tackle. That's not a foul. That's a goal kick. There's no foul there. 3 minutes to go. There's not even an early day for me tomorrow, so now we'll make a review. "92nd minute. Halfway through stoppage time. Pachuca is so screwed. I agree. 92nd minute, throw in. Halfway through stoppage time. 0-0, 0-0. Esta noche y global. Oh, good steal. Toluca might build something here. Can they? Can they? Oh, this might be. Shot save. Try to tap it in. You can't do that. Robbed by Malagon. Robbed by Malagon. Robbed by Malagon. 92-30. 1:30 to go. Did milk some time off the clock, though. In through. Good tackle. All ball. Clean tackle. A breakaway for Toluca. Not exactly. Got the ball cleared, though, for one last minute of play. He might just be man of the match just for that save. Well, there's only 1 minute left, so you're probably wrong. 93rd minute. Brings it down. Cross in. Header. Oh, 20 seconds to go. The ref could give more, but at least 10 seconds, 15 seconds to go. Ball crossed in. Header. Oh, Lord. They still could cross it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, deep. Crossed. Header. Wide. Goal kick, 94th minute. And that should be full time. Should be. Guess what Forsberg did? True. But it's only the first leg, so extra time would be Sunday if it's tied on aggregate. But that, I think, never mind, it's over. Maple Leafs are just cursed. Goal kick, full time. I think you're probably right. Full time. 0-0. Esta noche. 0-0 on the night and on aggregate. 0-0 esta noche y global. All to play for during the second leg on Sunday. I agree. I agree with that. Same. With that being said, it's over Wabatter with 2 legs. There's no goals. Anybody could win on Sunday. Anybody. By the way, it's at Toluca Stadium. And who's to say? Paulinho might not play the second leg. if he plays, it might not be over then. So, with that being said, still all to play for. 90 more minutes. Plus possible extra time if the aggregate stays tied through those 90 minutes on Sunday. One more game. Can América win Tetracampeonato or will Toluca win the league as the super líder de la tabla? With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. It won't be long, but I have to talk about it. So I'll see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.